Hi everybody, I am Husky Light. Thank you for stopping by. Saint S, one of my subscribers, has asked me if I would show her how to do the Celtic Cross in the tarot spread and what the meanings of that are. So I thought that's a really good idea, and why don't I do it for everybody? A lot of you that are, on your spiritual path and becoming awake and everything are starting to learn and wanting to do your own readings, either for yourself or, eventually for other people as well, as your psychic abilities improve and develop. So yeah, I just thought I'd do that for you. So I'll put the camera down in a minute and I'll go through each card in a Celtic Cross, the position of it, what it means. When I first started doing it, I actually see a crappy piece of paper because it's getting very old now. But as you can see, I actually wrote it all out so that when I was practicing myself, if I ever got to a card I thought, oh, I can't remember that one, it's there. It's got all the meanings 1 through till 10 underneath. Celtic Cross is a 10 card spread. Other tips and quips while I'm showing you the card. You can shuffle the cards any way you want to. When I shuffle the cards, I do it like this. In between readings, I will shuffle them like I'm still in the casino. I used to deal cards. I used to work in a casino years and years ago when I was a lot younger, doing blackjack and dice and all that lot. So if it needs a really good shuffle, then I'll literally, split them up and shuffle them like this properly. In between readings as well, you need to clear the cards from the last reading that you did. So I will either get hold of it and just tap it on the table, tap it on the top. I've started for a while now, actually. I have an incense stick burning next to me while I do the readings, and every time I come to a new reading and I've shuffled, I will just hold the cards over the top of the smoke that's coming off the incense stick, the incense smoke, and just let that smoke go over my cards a little bit and just into them, just to clear the energies from the last readings. Because the worst thing you can do is to do a reading and then you come on to the next one and you find out you're bringing out exactly the same cards that you've just brought out for the last reading, because it's still got the energies impregnated within the cards from the last reading. So it's very important to clear in between readings. So, and this is how I shuffle, and you can shuffle absolutely. Ooh, and I only have small hands as well, so I have if they're much bigger than this, and even with these as well, I'm prone to just dropping half the pack and dropping them at various times. But so I will just keep shuffling. I will think of the person I'm doing a reading for, or if say I'm doing, I don't know, Libra for April, then I'll just keep saying Libra, April, what have we got in store for April, as I'm shuffling all the cards. And there will come a point where I feel like I need to stop, or a certain one will pop out, or a certain card will just stick up. You see, those have started to drop, but I've got my eye on this one here, and if it comes out easily, then that's the card. If you've got to start tugging and messing about with it, it's not the card. Put it back. Yeah. So if we keep concentrating as we're pulling the cards, and what I'll do is I'll put the camera down, we'll go through them and the positions of them. So there's another one, and I'm just sort of saying Libra, April, Libra, April, Libra, April. What's happening in April for Libra? What's happening in Libra for April? Goodness me, I might use this one in April's reading. It's bloody good. What's coming out? So you just keep the ones that you are drawn to are the ones that are meant to come out. Your guides, my guides and angels, they don't whisper in my ear, stop. What's that one? As I'm going through it, it's just a subtle It's just a subtle feeling, or you'll get the feeling that it's that card that's sticking up. As I say, if it easily comes out, then that's great, that's the card. If you have to tug at it, then it's not the card to come out. That one just completely dropped out. So 4 more and I'll put the camera down. We'll go through the meaning of each, because a lot of you on your spiritual journey, this is what this is what you do. You sort of start to wake up, you start getting interested in astrology, in your horoscopes every month and every week. You start the awakening process and start meditating. Then you'll start getting in touch with your guides and angels. Then you'll start getting your messages through. You'll start seeing things and hearing things that you've never seen or heard before. And this is, how it starts. And as I say, some of you could have been on the journey for absolutely years and you're awake. Some of you go through it very quickly. Some of you end up on the twin flame journey. Some of you, we all go awaken in different ways. So just let me get an outcome card for this. And I'll put the camera down. Cool, definitely keeping this one for April. No, I'm not, I'll redo them. I haven't concentrated on them enough. So this is just to give you a general idea of what to look for and the meanings of each card. Let me make it look pretty and put some little stones around it. Right, I put the camera down. Hopefully, mess about with the camera. Hopefully you can see the whole spread there. Let me straighten them out. Best thing to do is get yourselves a pen and a piece of paper so that you can go through this with me and just write them down as I go through the meaning of each one. So let's get rid of this one for the moment. So in position number 1, we've got the Sun card. Now at this point I'm teaching you how to read the positioning of each card, so it doesn't really matter what the card is. It will as well, when you're learning to do a Celtic Cross, when you first start, you will tend to, you might find it difficult to be able to see the whole reading. You might end up just looking at individual cards as you go through them. Well, this one means this, and this one means this, and this one means this. Once you've practiced enough, once you become very accustomed to doing readings, when you put all the cards down, when you've looked at them for a minute, you'll start to see the story emerge from the cards. You'll start to see and be able to relate each card to each other as it comes through. And you'll see this card over here and know that it relates to this card and see how they all tie in together. But at the beginning, when you start learning, it is quite difficult because you can only tend to, you're that concentrated on trying to learn the meanings of each card, you just concentrate on one at a time. So anyway, this one here, right in the middle, and this is your cross. Yeah, this is the Celtic Cross. So you've got 6 cards here, including the crossed card, and then you've got another 4 cards here. Now, because my camera is not big enough, I can't put this one down, just putting it to the side, but there's another 4 cards there. So we start off with the Sun card, and this is the present position. I'll try not to do that because I'm wobbling the table. This is the present time, present position. You're the person that you're reading for, or the general energies of a month. That is the present state of their energies. That's what's going on for them in most cases. Excuse me, when it's in that position. Now, when you do a reading for somebody, they can't always actually see that that is their position. You might say, oh, you've got the Sun card in the present position, and they go, well, I feel bloody miserable. Why have I got the Sun card there? Sometimes it's a case of they see their own situation from a different perspective from the way I see it as I'm reading the cards for them. Also, we're not just working with the human element of what's going on in their daily life in the present position. We're also working on other levels. So we're working on their soul, we're working with their energies as well. So, and it might be, maybe it is not the Sun card that's come up, maybe it's the Tower card or something, and they don't want to admit they're going through a Tower moment. They don't want to admit that their world is falling down around them and they're having a really bad time. And they will deny the card that's in front of them and say, no, absolutely, I'm as happy as Larry, I'm having a great time. Simply because they're not, there are certain things in there that they're pushing down into their subconscious that they're not listening to and they're not realising, and they're trying to block it out. But unfortunately, that energy is there and it will come out in the card. So that's the first one. That's what's going on in your life at the moment. That's the way generally you're feeling. And in this case, it's the Sun card. So you're feeling happy, everything's coming together. The sun is shining down for you. You haven't really got any problems going on for you. It's all sunny and wonderful. The next card, which is card number 2. So if you're going to draw it out, you can see the way I've done it here. I've got card number 1 here, and then I've done a little box with number 2, crossing it, and then sorry, I've spilt some on it ages ago, and then I've got the meanings, simple meanings underneath for them. So we've got card number 2. This is the card that crosses the present situation. So this is the card that can be a block. It can be some problems that might be hampering the present position, coming up in the way of the present position. Now, if it's a really good card, then it's not really a problem. It's not really, but it's something that they're still dealing with within that reading, within their present life. So that's what it's either helping you as a crossed card or it's hindering you, depending on whether it's a good or a bad card. Again, if this was a Tower card that came across the Sun card, you're acting and feeling really, really happy, but at the back of it all, there's a huge Tower moment coming. And it may be that it's not quite arrived yet, or it may be it's a problem that they're trying to push to the back of the mind or ignore. So that comes across, and so it will, depending on what the card is, it will either help you or hinder you, and that's what's coming up in that. So these first 2 cards historically are like the small cross, and then we come out from there. When we move into this card here, there, this is your recent past. This is the recent past. So these are things that have led up to the present moment. Things that have led up to that to either make you happy or sad, whatever the problem was. So, for example, we've got the Sun card here, which is the present position. So this person, or this Libra April, whatever, it's happy, it's good, it's fantastic. And the events leading up to that Sun card was the 10 of coins. So maybe this person got a new job, or they got a job promotion. They moved in with somebody and suddenly money is easier because they're sharing the bills. But this is the card that's the recent past that leads up to the present moment as it goes along. Okay. I personally don't go into this one straight away. I personally go on to other things before I go into that. The reason, I'll tell you the reason why I don't go out. This is what's coming up. These are the events that are coming up in the near future. I don't go into that one first. Some will explain, yeah, do this, and then go into the recent past and what's happening in the future. But sometimes what is going to happen in the recent future is dependent on whatever this card is. So this card is your subconscious. This card here, which is the one that I go on to next after doing the past card, is your conscious. So this is your conscious position. This is what you're thinking about. This is what's going on with you. Your aspirations, your goals, what's going on in your mind, what's going on in your logic, in your logical mind. So in this case, for instance, it's the Seven of Cups. So there's either a lot of confusion there's an awful lot going on within the mind, or there's a choice that they're having to make and they can't quite make up their mind what that choice will be. And putting it in with the rest of the cards, they've got the sun shining, everything's happy, they've either got a job promotion, moved in with somebody, and got a new job. And of course things like that is going to set somebody's mind off in a lot of different directions. Even though they're happy, there's a lot to think about there, because there's a lot of changes that are going on within their life. So that's why they've got that in the conscious position, because of changes coming around. Lots of things to think about. Maybe if they've just moved in with someone and they're very happy about it, it makes bills easier for them to deal with, and they're thinking, oh God, I've got to pack my bags and we're moving and we're getting the removal men in and I've got to put this in the diary for next week. We've got to call the electric, get the electric, all of that sort of thing would tie in with that. So that is the conscious position. That is what the person is thinking about, or what Libra in general is thinking about for April, if you do it that way. So we start off with the Sun, which is card number 1. Start off then onto the Three of Wands, which is card number 2, which is crossing them, which is a help to them, because that again is moving forward. Card number 3 is the recent past and what's led up to this position. And then card number 4, which is what they're thinking about, what's in their conscious day-to-day going on in their life, sort of thing that's happening. Then, as I said, I don't go into the future one, because there is something here in the subconscious that you don't know about, that's in your subconscious that you may not even be aware of yet is going to happen, and that could play a part in why this is happening in the near future. Yeah? So you've got your 4 cards here. So then I move on to the subconscious card, which happens to be the Lovers card in this one. So this is, as I said, it's in your subconscious. You may not be aware of this situation coming up. It might be a surprise. It might be somebody coming through with a message for you. Something coming around that is something that you're not logically, it's not in your present mind. It's almost on the peripheral. It's not actually coming around yet. It's bubbling up from your subconscious and coming up. And going in there for you. So that's coming around. Then we move on to card number 6, which is the near future. What is likely to be happening in the next, if we're doing it for Libra, April or whatever, then that would be what's happening during that month for you. What is coming up that you're not quite aware of, the person you're doing a reading is not quite aware of, that's coming up. So in this case, there's the 5 of Swords. And when you start to look at the picture of things as it's happening, you've got the Lovers in the subconscious, which can either mean a decision or the coming together of 2 people, boyfriend and girlfriend, man and wife, partners. Lovers can also stand for business decisions, but having a partner in business as well. And then this card comes up, which is trauma, a little bit of war, quarrels, disagreements, but you coming out successfully and coming out the other side, the victor from that, even though there's some struggles there. So automatically I can put those 2 cards together and say, well, by the look of these cards, you've had a happy time and everything's gone well, but then suddenly, coming up in the near future, we've got a problem here. You've had to either make a decision, or you're having arguments with a significant other, whether in business or whether in love or whether in whatever that position is, and whatever resonates with the person that you're doing a reading for. Yeah, but those 2 cards come together because you're not yet aware of this one, and this one's happening in the near future, so it's not actually happened yet. So this is possibly what is going to happen, what is coming around for you when you go through that reading. When we come on to the next card, which is number 7, if you put this down as number 7, this is the advice card for the entire reading. So whatever the individual things are that are going on in the reading, whatever the story is there, number 7 is going to give you the guidance and the advice that you need to carry you through the reading, the month, to get through. So the advice card here in simple terms is the 8 of coins. So the 8 of coins is all about getting balanced, getting financially balanced, looking at things, looking at paperwork, making sure that your paperwork's in order, making sure that logically you know where you're going and what direction you're going in. So again, that card ties in with all of these. And when you look at it as a picture, everything's going well, everything's happy. There's a lot of maybe confusion and decisions here because you've got so much to do during the month. Then the Lovers card comes up, or 2 people come up, which again is another decision, and maybe you're going to have a struggle making that decision, but you will, and you'll get through. Or it might be having physical arguments and conflicts with a partner, either a partner in business or a partner there. The way to deal with this situation is to sit there logically with the 8 of coins as the advice for the whole reading and work it out. Work out what you need to do. Make sure that you're planning properly. Make sure you're leaving nothing to chance to do that. So that's number 7 card, and that takes all the situations, all the little bits of this, and puts it into one and gives you the advice for that reading. This next card here, number 8, this card here deals with the people around you, the people that you work with, your friends, your loved ones, your family, and how they're feeling during the month. How is what you're doing affecting them? Or in general, how are their lives going? What is it that they're doing? It's the environment that's going on around you. Is it helping your plans, or are they going to hinder your plans on what you want to do during the reading? And obviously the way they are is going to have an effect on you. The way you are is going to have an effect on them, especially if it's referring to very close family, or it's referring to a business partner or something like that. In this case, it's the King of Cups, so it's probably a water sign around you, close family, co-worker, friend, and they're feeling they're a king, they're in charge, they're feeling very compassionate, they're feeling very good about themselves, they're very cooperative. So it's saying that there's going to be help around you coming in, maybe for this situation. Maybe you can go and get advice from this King of Cups to help you get through and get to the other side of these quarrels that you're having, or these disagreements, the challenges. Might even be a project you're just struggling with at work, or a challenge that's coming up. So this takes into account support that's coming in for you, what's going on around you. Okay, so this is saying in this there is a lot of family support, or there's a lot of support around you for the situation that you're in and for what's happening during the month for you. This card here, I'm going to have to move it up a little bit. This is your hopes, this is your fears, this is what you're either hoping for this month, or this is what your consciousness is saying, oh, I'm really fearing this and I'm not sure whether I'm going to get through. You've got the 5 of what this person, this Libra, has got the 5 of Wands, so they're having a battle with themselves, and it's a pretty explanatory position for it to be in. It just represents your mindset. But when you're doing the reading, remember that we go back to the advice card. That might be your mindset, that you're having conflict and things are going maybe not the way to plan and not the way you want them, and you don't know how to get through this situation and this is happening. But go back to the advice card. This is the advice card. The advice card is saying go through things logically, sit down, plan things, keep calm, and you will get through just fine. Yeah? Whatever card it is. So this is, in this position, this is your hopes and this is your fears. If it was the star card or something, you've got total faith in the universe, you've got no problems, you know that you're going to get through the month absolutely fine. With this one, you're worried about whether you're going to get through the month or not. And if this is a bad card that's come out, which means you're worrying about things and you're not sure whether things are going to work out, sometimes, you know, you need to try and change that card. The person who's listening to the reading, the person that you've done the reading for, needs to look at that and think, I need to not worry, I need to take this advice, have faith in the universe, and not listen to this. Otherwise, if I carry on like that, things may turn out badly. If I influence too much, if I worry too much about it, it might change the outcome. So they've got to be, you know, are they going to sit back and wait for the worst to happen, or can they see that card come in and say, right, well, we're going to change that card at this point? The outcome card is here, and this is the outcome of this story, what's happened, what's going on, the conflicts and everything. And by the end of the month, or by the end of the reading, if it's a 6-month reading you're doing for somebody, or a monthly for somebody, in this case it's the 3 of Cups. So they didn't have any need to worry. What they needed to do was concentrate on the advice card, plan, be logical about things, not worry about things, because if they do it this way, it comes out happy at the end. It comes out with the 3 of Cups, it comes out with celebration. So they've got into the new job, they've got the pay rise, they've moved in with the partner, they've managed to get through all the challenges during the month that was needed, and now they've come to the end of the month and there's celebrations to be had, and good things happening and good news coming through, and a nice ambient feeling to the month. So this is the most likely outcome, this card number 10, based on all the other cards that are present within the reading, and as long as they follow the advice within the reading, follow this advice card, then they should get to this card. They could also get to this card if they're bloody worrying, but that's a chance they're going to have to take, because if they do that too much, it could change the outcome. This is, when you do a reading for somebody, it is one possible path of so many different paths that they could take. So many different outcomes, so many different stories, so many different parallels that you're working with. So this is one possible that could come from it. So this is saying that it's a good outcome, that it's a happy outcome, and this is how, if they keep this one in mind, how they must sort of progress during the month. This is their course of action. This is going to be the outcome if they are happy about things, if they follow the advice card and the guidance that comes from you when you're doing a reading from them. So basically that's, you know, this is just showing you one particular thing. When you do a reading for somebody, try and stress to the person that you're doing a reading for that don't concentrate on the bad cards. Don't concentrate on those. And if this happens to be the Devil or the Tower or the Death card at the end, it can be turned around, because then you can actually see that this card is coming. You can see the way the month is progressing during the month, and you think, oh my God, we're going to have a really bad month, and this is going to happen at the end of the month. But you've got fair warning for that happening, so you can change it. If you can see coming that you're going to have arguments with a partner, and there's going to be lovers stuff going on which you don't particularly want to go through, or you don't want to enjoy, or there's going to be problems with a partner at work, or a business partner, or a boss, or, you know, between two people, you've got a heads up on that, you're aware of that, that it may happen. So then you can take steps to logically deal with that. And in this case, you know, take whatever advice is coming from number 7, whatever's in position number 7, which is the advice card. So I hope this is helped. Also, when you do a reading for somebody, I never ever 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 say that somebody's going to die or somebody's going to pass away or somebody's going to, it's not ethical, it's not what readers do, and even if it came up within the reading, it wouldn't be mentioned, because it's not ethical. It puts that awful thought into somebody's head and it makes them worry. And the last thing you want to do is worry. When you do a reading for somebody, there may be the death and the Tower card and all sorts of really bad stuff coming up, but you have to portray it and put it in a cross in a way that gives them hope that they can get through it and that everything will turn out all right in the end. And for most of the time, everything always does turn out right in the end. It's stages of life that you go through, it's challenges that you have to overcome, but put it ahead, put it across in the most positive way that you can to give somebody hope. You don't want to give somebody a reading and then for them really to sit there afterwards and go, oh my God, my life is over, it's awful, my nan's gonna die, my dog's gonna get run over, I'm gonna lose my job, I'm gonna break up with somebody, my house is gonna burn down. You know what I mean? Don't, you know, whatever you see in the cards, always make sure that you can counteract any bad things happening with good guidance from your guides and angels to help them on how to get through a particular situation. Okay, be very, very aware when you're doing a reading, because you can cause damage. You can. And also, when you do a reading for somebody, the person that you're doing a reading for has to be aware that this is just one possible outcome of so many. It's not written in stone, it can be changed, and it's down to them to change it in the way that they want to. This is just guidance. So anyway, where's my camera? There we go. So hopefully that is hopefully, I've lived in Yorkshire far too long, I'm really picking up the accent now. I used to live in Manchester. So hopefully now that gives you an idea of how to do it. And don't worry at the start when you start learning how to do a Celtic Cross or how to read cards that you can't see the picture, you can't see the story popping out at you, because that just takes practice. You will at first just look at individual cards and go, oh, lovers, somebody's getting together with somebody else, you won't be able to put the whole story together at first, but you will do. The more you practice it and the more you go through it, it's something that you will be able to do. And that's it. So namaste. Hopefully you enjoyed this and it'll help. It's been a lot longer actually than I expected it to be. I thought this would be just like a little quick how-to video, but I've gone through it in some detail, so hopefully this will help you. Okay then, so namaste, blessings, light. I love you loads and loads and loads, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.